Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and thanks a lot for showing love and support to the previous videos. Now I'm going to put in sincere efforts to keep this content coming, hoping that it will help some of you all working on your applications, as applications for the fall intake for most universities have either opened up or will be opening up very soon. So in today's video, we are going to discuss some tips and tricks on how to make your essays stand out, starting with some general tips, discussing the different types of essays, and then finally I will walk you through one of my essays which got me selected into a top design university. So let's jump right in. So, firstly, let us understand the purpose of an essay. It's something that is meant to convey who you are as a person to the admission committee, what your motivations and thought process is like, and most importantly, what are the interpersonal skills that you possess. Also, they want to know through these essays that what kind of change would you bring about in the world after completing the degree, and whether you would add some value to their name as an alumni of the university or not. So, being clear of your objectives and showing it clearly through your essay is extremely crucial. Also, your essays are not a detailed description of your CV, so do not start describing each project in too much detail without it leading to anything. So, it is very important that whatever work you talk about in your essay ties to a larger goal and highlights some kind of skills that you possess, which ultimately tie up and form a story and do not sound like a list that you first did A, then you did B, then you did C. So, everything should tie up together. Lastly, please do not get consultants to write your essays as they tend to follow a very strict cookie cutter kind of template which they've been using since ages. And the most important aspect of an essay is to sound authentic and it to sound very personal to you. So even if you're using AI tools for refinement at the end, do not use them for idea generation or thoughts because those should be very personal to you. Only a little bit of language tweak at the end is, I think, acceptable, but the thoughts and the ideas should come absolutely from you and from not from any tool or from any consultant. So, when you're making an application to a university, they can ask you for different kinds of essays. Usually, universities either ask for statements of purpose, personal statements, or give specific questions to you for you to answer. In the first two cases, most often they would give you a rough guideline as to what they expect in an answer. For example, what is your motivation to join the program? What do you expect out of it? And what are your future plans? So, my suggestion for this would be to try and cover each aspect of the questions within your statement, no matter what your order of answering the questions is. And in cases where they give you particular questions to answer specifically, then be absolutely on point through the question and don't drown them in long stories which aren't related to what's being asked. So be very to the point in such cases. So now let's see one of my statements of purpose along with the questions that the university had asked for. So the prompt for the SOP had asked for the reasons of pursuing this master's degree and why was this the best time to do so? What am I planning to achieve through the degree and where do I see myself post the completion of the course? So I primarily broke down my essay into the intro, the main body which had the main meat where I talked about my projects and then a conclusion to wrap it up. Also, here the range of the word limit was too vast, which was like 500 to 2000 words. So I stuck to something in between around 1400 words, which wasn't too less, but like 2000 for my content sounded way too much to weave into a tight story. So that's why I stuck to 1400 words of sorts. In my intro, I clearly highlighted my personal motivation and what I want to achieve in my design career, which was around driving innovations for the empowerment of the society. Now, I'm not saying this just for the sake of it in my essay, but explaining where I'm coming from and what in my previous work inspired me to head into this direction. Then, within my intro itself, I explained how this interdisciplinary degree would add to my skill set to take me closer to the goals I want to achieve, thus answering the first question which they had asked for. Now, to answer the next question, which was what I am planning to achieve through the degree, I took the approach of explaining my projects to indicate what I gained from them and what are the additional things that this program could add so that I can evolve as a designer even further, all tying up to the larger goal which I had already mentioned in the intro. I started with giving a brief of my background and then jumped into talking about the first project. Here, I first set the context as to where it was done, what was the problem at hand, what were the critical challenges that were to be solved, the proposed solution, and my key learnings and realizations through the project. Next, I talk about certain courses that I want to take up in the master's program which can enhance overall learning, making me a more well rounded designer. So, I'm drawing links as to what skills I already have and what this master's degree would add in order to bring me closer to my ultimate goal. Now, while discussing the next project, I've adopted a similar approach of talking about the context, the problem, solution, impact, and personal learnings. Now, here, when I talk about how the master's degree would add to it, I've mentioned the will to learn and work with a particular professor on the course whose work related to this area and from whom I can inculcate skills even further in this direction. So, moving forward, now I talked about one voluntary work and one research project in the main body too. Mainly because there was a room for a lot of words in this particular essay. However, I made sure that it is not just a long list of work that I did, but it clearly states distinct interpersonal and technical skills, and also all of them add up to the larger goal I want to achieve, hence making my story well rounded and well supported with my past work experiences. Finally, after walking them through some of my work, I concluded my expectations from the degree in this paragraph. Here, I was being very specific about the courses I want to take up and the particular events and parts of the program that I'm really looking forward to, portraying that my decision to do this is very well thought out and that these aspects of the program are actually going to turn me into the kind of designer that I wish to be. Now, to answer the last and final bit of the prompts, that was where I see myself post this course, I divided it into two sections. One was what the immediate goals that I had planned for myself, where I covered things like where I would like to work and how it resonates with my larger vision. And next, I talked about my long term goal, which was slightly more high level and talked about the impact that I want to create and where I want to create it. So, breaking it down into immediate and long term goals shows that your future roadmap is pretty clear to you. Finally, I gave a short conclusion to the entire essay to sum up what values I bring to the program and one sentence roundup of what skills am I expecting to add from the program. So that brings us to the end of this video. And again, I would like to give a disclaimer that please be very authentic in your essays, and plagiarizing any essay or getting it written by AI channels or any other assistants will completely defy the purpose of it, and it will definitely get caught and will reflect very badly on your profile. Apart from that, if you have any suggestions or requests on what topics I should cover in the videos ahead, then please leave it down below in the comments. I'm trying to be as regular as possible and give out whatever information I have to help you with your master's application journey. Please follow, like, and share these videos with anyone who is on this journey. See you next time. Bye bye.